Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this meditation practice can develop our inner wisdom, and at the same time, how we can use it for our conventional life. So when it comes to meditation, it is a method to develop our awareness. So the mind depends on the awareness. Awareness is the major important part when it comes to our mind. But still, most of time, we are not think about our awareness. We always look into the outside world and go behind things, forgetting to develop the awareness. As ordinary people, we have awareness to a certain level. But that average level of awareness not enough to go beyond this circle of life. This average level of awareness will help us to maintain our life as ordinary way. That is the very conventional level of life. But still, when it comes to ourselves, we all know this all going to change. And at the same time, what we experience with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, sometimes can change, and maybe it is not the exactly right things. So then, with our decisions, with our conscious decision, we take bodily, verbally, mentally actions, and then we build up our life on the top of our own inner feelings. But end of the day, it is very difficult for us to find something profitable. We live a life, we spend our time, energy, we invest our thoughts, but end of the day, it is very difficult for us to count on that, our own actions, and become comfortable about it. So this misinterpretation, misunderstanding, misguiding take us to more and more and more difficulties. So that's why developing the clarity itself give you a clear foundation for yourself to build your life, and at the same time, out of that clarity, you can develop your awareness and you can be mindful regarding your bodily, verbally, mentally action. So then whatever the reactions come, it always going to become beneficial to yourself. So that is why this is going to become more profitable to you. So we have to remember, when it comes to this meditation practice, we have to deal with our mind. So then we can't use different things or the methods to develop the mind. We have to use the thoughts. Only the thoughts will help us to develop this mind. But the thing is, when in day-to-day life, when situations come, when you start to practice meditation, when difficulties arise, rather than using the thoughts, what happens? We are start to use these outside material things to get the help. So as example, pain. You sit on the floor or maybe you sit on the chair, cushion. So then by the time, little by little, you feel a little bit discomfort, and then you bring a cushion to get out of that discomfort. And end of the meditation, around you, many cushions. Maybe you start with one cushion, end the meditation with 10 cushions. Why? Because you thought that whatever the feelings or the sensation or the difficulties you can get out of using these material things. But if you look very carefully, that whatever the discomfort come with the condition of the mind. So it is a thought. So when it become a thought, what you need to do, you have to use the thoughts to get out of it. You have to use the thoughts as antidote. When you use the material things to get out of the thoughts, it become poison. So once you get used to this method, what happened? That most of time, your happiness and satisfaction the same. It's a thought, but you use the outside material, physical things to gain that. But by the time, what happens? You're not going to find any happiness or satisfaction from the outside world. For the moment, of course, you will experience something, but it's not going to be resonate with you. It is not sustainable. So then again and again, you have to go with this outside. So when you deeply practice meditation, you have to remember that this is a method that you're dealing with your own mind. There's no help from outside. There's no one can guide you looking at your mind. So you are the only one can see it. So that is why you have to have the very clear understanding. Not to look for bypass, shortcuts, but to see very clearly and understand the very nature and the condition of the mind, because you are the only one can see that. So when it comes to that, having this introspection, going to deeper in your mind, more and more it's going to become very complicated. Because to see the very subtle things, soft things, you have to be more sharp, clear. When it is become rough, you can see it. Even just imagine the breathing. When the breathing become rough, you can recognize it. But how about when the breathing becomes shallow, when the breathing becomes soft? You have to have so much energy, effort, awareness to recognize it. So then the mind, you have to have more strength, wisdom, and you have to have the effort to deeply recognize the mind. You cannot just sit and wait till the understanding comes. So when it comes to that, the very first thing then, you have this everything mind, this everything thoughts, and the thoughts happen according to the necessary cause and conditions. And then to get out of certain thoughts, you have to use the thoughts. But when we use these thoughts, sometimes there are certain things we have to let go. As example, when it comes to meditation, it's a kind of like a purification of mind. So purify the mind means there are certain things that you have to first let go to bring the other profitable skill to you. So one of the profitable skill that we develop with our mind is effort. But the thing is, most of time we have doubt. So if you have the doubt, sometimes with the doubt we have the effort, but it's not going to work. Because for the effort, doubt is the poison. First, you have to get out of the doubt, and then you have to have the effort. So that's why the foundation for any spiritual practice is conviction, trust, faith. For that, especially when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, you have to remember it always need to base with the close, need to go with the wisdom. The faith, not just itself. Faith need to be with wisdom. That is where your effort going to become successful. You can gain the result. So then in the conventional level also the same. Conventional life also the same. You may try to get into something or become somebody in this conventional world, but if you have the doubt about that path, you're not going to become successful there. So then always remember the effort, whatever the effort that you put, it's going to become successful. You can gain good result if you don't have the doubt, and if you have the much stronger faith or the conviction. Another thing is the next quality is the concentration. So that also very important when it comes to our practice. But sometimes the distractions we use to concentrate. As example, sometimes sound, music, these kind of things. So it makes us deeply distract, but sometimes we use that to concentrate. So concentration itself means then, always remember, if you go with some kind of outside object, you always need to go behind it. And then somewhere you may get lost or you become helpless. It is not sustainable. So nothing wrong from the beginning, you a little bit to start, but always remember, if you want to practice real concentration, get out of the distractions. You don't use the distraction as the foundation for the concentration. Don't use the distraction as a mental object to concentrate. So that is where you can gain good result. And other one is, one of the most important part is tranquilizing the mind. So to tranquilize the mind, you have to get out of this restlessness. But sometimes we trying to be tranquilized on the top of the restlessness. And the mind go with many mental objects. Mind go with many postures. So you're not going to be tranquilized. Of course, for the moment you feel good, but restlessness is it's a poison for the tranquility state. So then you have to get out of the restlessness to bring the tranquility state. Don't use the restlessness to develop the tranquility state. And the next one is, that is the major important part, ignorance and wisdom. So with the ignorance, we can't develop the wisdom. So to develop the wisdom, bring the wisdom, we have to get out of the ignorance. But here, sometimes we use the ignorance and hold it to ignorance, believing it is the wisdom. And then we can't find. So that is where our self-centered, egocentric mind, we have to get out. Settling down with the present moment without depending on the past or the future. Experiencing things as it is. So that is where we need Shrutame Jnana, accumulating or gaining the wisdom from outside and listening more and more and more, and studying, learning, investigating regarding the meditation or the Dharma, and gain the knowledge. And Chintame Jnana, not only that, you have to contemplate on it, and you have to think about it, and you have to be wise with the informations that you gathered. And then from there, you develop the panya or the wisdom. So there is a process for that. But sometimes when the ignorance we use as the wisdom, what happens? Oh, I know this, I know that, I no need to listen. So like that, you withdraw from the outside knowledge and you depend on your own things, that whatever you believe. And then you believe it and you keep following it and you developing it again and again and again. We are here, we are in this journey until we attain to the liberation. We have some kind of ignorance. Basically, based with the greed, hatred, and the delusion, believing there is me, oh my, I am, like that. And we have a kind of like ignorance to believe impermanent things as permanent, And we have ignorance to take unsatisfactory nature as satisfaction. And we have nature to take selflessness as self. That is the base of the ignorance. So that's why we are here like this. So then practicing means, in the very first level, you have to be very clear to let go your own inner ignorance. And that is where the wisdom can grow. But if you hold it to the ignorance, remember, the wisdom cannot grow there. Because ignorance is the poison for the wisdom. And the next one is mindfulness. So developing mindfulness, and one of the poison that we have, attachment. Having attachment, you can't develop the mindfulness. So that's why from the basic level, we practice generosity, giving dana. Because it helps for you to grow the mindfulness. So then always remember, and sometimes we have the attachment, we use the attachment to develop the mindfulness. It doesn't work. Like some people give, believing, thinking to gain their spiritual liberation. It's not going to happen. Whatever you give, conventional level, you will receive it one day as a good karma. If you do it with the good intention, we need that. It is very necessary for us to have this comfortable samsaric journey until we attain to the Nibbana. But just giving something, you can't gain mindfulness. As a result of giving, you're not going to gain the mindfulness. So the very first thing then, you have to give that, get out of the attachment, and then allow mindfulness to grow and practice mindfulness there. And the other one is the next one, rigidity and the flexibility. So the rigidity is the very poison for flexibility. So then you can't use the rigidity to make you flexible. So that is where you are, even physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, in every angle. Get out of this toughness that you hold. Don't develop the toughness or this rigidity as a foundation to develop your flexibility. It's wrong. It's not going to go anywhere. It becomes only a struggle. Another thing is, this is very important. Most of the time we see, we have the compassion. We want to develop the compassion, loving kindness towards the world, the universe, and every day we practice loving kindness. But most of time, we have self-criticism. We criticize ourselves. We are not kind of like satisfied about us. We are always complaining about us. We are always take this life as a punishment. We are always take this life as a kind of like a difficulty. And we are not happy about it. We are always complaining about us. We are waiting to punish ourselves. You can't do loving kindness meditation. You can't have a compassion, because compassion not going to grow there. Just imagine you have good seed. If you put on the top of this iron bowl, it's not going to grow. So same like the compassion not going to grow if you have self-criticism. Sometimes on the top of the self-criticism, we try to develop that compassion, believing that self-criticism we take as the compassion. So I think, oh, this life is so suffering. This is enough for me. I am so tired about this. And you complaining and you criticize yourself. I want to get out of this. Because of that, may all living beings be well and happy. So you are not happy about you. You are suffering. You are kind of like a pain. You are kind of like a problem, and you want to get out of this. And reflecting on that, because your main intention is not having compassion towards others. Your main purpose is get out of this idea that you believe this, you are kind of like a suffering. This is what call these all things, what call, we use the doubt to develop the effort, distraction to concentration, restlessness to tranquility, ignorance to wisdom, attachment to mindfulness, rigidity to flexibility, self-criticism to compassion. We use this all negative things, poison things to develop our effort, concentration, tranquility, wisdom, mindfulness, faith, compassion, so on like that. This is what called spiritual bribery. Remember that. You are trying to cheat your own mind and cover up something, bypassing the real wisdom or the knowledge. And this is a kind of like Maya or the mirage from our own mind. That is why you have to be very careful. Just imagine you use all the poison believing this is going to be work for you. No, it's that is, so it's a kind of like you stay in the darkness believing that darkness as light. So then how are you going to find the light? Even you see the light, you hate it, you resist it. You don't want to get out of it. Again and again, you're going to be there. So like some prisoners, they don't want to get out of it. Kind of like some homeless people. You give a house, you give a motel, apartment with all the facilities, and maybe even the city try to give some extra money also for kind of like a pocket money for a month for groceries. But still, they don't want that anything. They don't want the bed. They don't want refrigerator, microwaves. They don't want a couch or TV or anything. They want to come back to that payment. See, that's how the same thing with our mind. In the larger scale, if you look very carefully, we the same. And we also, maybe we are very familiar, many lifetimes keep coming in this environment, live here like this. Maybe this is not the first time that we keep doing these things around us. Maybe this is a habit that we keep doing this. So that's why in this human life, be mindful about this and have the wisdom to get out of it. Don't keep continue this circle. Get out of this. So that is where your practice going to become more sharp and clear, and that is where you can bring the change to you. So that is where you can find your development day by day with the clarity. That is where you can see inside you. You are growing with this spiritual path. So give some attention to this. Take some time to think about this. Carefully, step by step, analyze yourself. Be honest to you. Because there is no one can help you. There is no one going to come to rescue you. Only you have to deal with your own mind. So it is you can use your own thoughts to get out of this, and you can use the right thoughts to get out of this as antidote. So that is why practicing meditation gives you this wisdom. Remember this and breathe very clear again and again and again and again. Don't misguide yourself. Don't do head massage yourself. Don't do this spiritual bribery. Don't do that. Be real, be organic, authentic yourself. Recognize it. And little by little, you don't need to practice this all overnight. No, little by little. Develop yourself with the right path. So that will take you little by little to the right destination. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left hand neck, get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So, in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamni sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Maya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.